Welcome back to The Inspired Entrepreneur with Heather Hope. Hi there, welcome back to the Inspired Entrepreneur Show. This is Heather Hope, and I'm a law of attraction. What are we calling me now? Author, writer, speaker. That's basically it. Teacher. I have written a book. A lot of you have heard this over and over and over. It's coming, don't worry. Called The Inspired Entrepreneur, 366 Days of Inspiration for the Entrepreneur, for the self-employed, for the business owner. I want to almost say the 1099 person. But okay, so each day, this is a daily podcast. Each day we go over another day in my book. Soon, one day, very, very soon, you can get a copy and you can follow along. Once I get the copy, I had said that I was going to do a video podcast. How are we feeling about that? In the back of my mind, I feel like I'm still doing it because I think it would be kind of cool. I know it's a little bit more work on my end, but we'll see. I know my life is going to get a lot busier. So I have a lot of things that are about to break loose. And my next book's on the heels of this one. Okay, it should be coming out next month, the second one. Okay, so let's jump into November 12th. It's very short and very self-explanatory if you're here listening to this. You get what you worry about. Period. That's it, guys. It's a gentle reminder. See, this book is about, some pages are, like a paragraph. Some is just one line to remind you. Like I said, it's kind of like a fortune cookie of like, here's a little bit and the message will be perfect. Now there's going to be days if you actually pick up this book and buy it, get it and put it on your desk, there's going to be a lot of days you probably don't open it up. Right? It's just how it is. That's every day. If you're a really good everyday habit person, awesome. Well, most of us aren't. I'm not. I can't do something every single day. I get bored. I forget. I don't have enough time certain days. You know what I mean? So then there's other days that you might read several days, or there's days that you're just going to open it up. There might be a time when you're stressed out and you look at the book, you're like, oh, let me flip to a page. I'm telling you, this is what happens all the time. So let's say there's a day that you're all worried and anxious and all that, right? We all have them. And then you just sit at your desk and you just kind of look out and you look around and you see my book sitting there. And you're like, huh. If this happens, I want you to pick it up and just flip to a page, any page, and allow that message to be for you. That's how it works. So today's a really good one. So if you were sitting there all worried and anxious or something, and you picked up the book and you just flipped to the first page you flipped to, and it's November 12th, and it says you get what you worry about, it's going to be a nice little reminder of, listen, you're worried about something. You're focused on something that you're worried about. And guess what you're doing? You're creating that to happen. Because, right, we all know this. This is like Law of Attraction 101. Of whatever you put your focus on, your attention is what you're creating. Creating what you're manifesting, what you're attracting, what you're becoming a magnet to, what you are making come to you by what you focus on. Yesterday we talked about what your eyes focus on, what your ears listen to, or what your eyes see, what your ears hear, what your mouth speaks, and what your mind thinks. It's pretty brilliant, isn't it? I'm just kidding. I thought it was pretty cool. All of that is your attention. That's your attention. That's what you're focused on. Whatever those four things, a combination of those four, all four, whatever it is, whatever you're sitting thinking about, dwelling on, whatever you're listening to, whatever you're watching on TV, not whatever your eyes are seeing, what your ears are hearing, which means whatever is around you, the people that are talking, the news that you're watching, whatever, the scary movies, the crazy shows, whatever it is, that's what you're focused on. Your focus is your superpower. Whatever you're paying attention to, you're getting more of. So you get what you worry about. If you're worried about something, you're creating it to happen. You're making it. There's more chances of it happening if you worry about it, which just means that you're putting your attention on it. And the worry feeling is a disconnection to source. So we can dig deeper into this. The worry that you're feeling is a disconnection from source, your inner being, the larger part of you, because the larger part of you doesn't see things negatively. You do, as a human does. Only when you're disconnected from source. So when I start worrying about something, I'm like, oh, hell no, I'm not gonna focus on that because I know better. Oh my gosh. And when you realize, so if you look back, take a look back, this is the best way to really solidify this point. And it will put you in place of like, okay, I'm not going to worry about anything. And if I do, it's only a few seconds because I will quickly correct this. Because there's no way in this world that I want to relive anything or, to have bad experiences like that I created myself from my worry or anxiety. So look back at a time in your life when you had a lot of worry, that you had a lot of anxiety about stuff happening, like bad things happening. And did bad things happen? Did you have a year from hell? I did. I've talked about it. I'm not going to talk about it anymore because I don't want to recreate it. So I had a year from hell a few years ago. It was freaking hell. And so I learned, when I looked back, I learned about Abraham right after it, and realized, holy man, I created some fucked up things. I really did. So I don't do that anymore. If my mind goes there for a second, I take it off because I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. This is self-discipline. We've been talking about that in my group for a little bit. Self-discipline is huge in many ways because you have to have that self-discipline to take your mind off of a subject. You have to do that. No one else is going to do it. So you have to do it. So if your mind is on something that you're worried about happening, you have to listen to me. You have to take your mind off of that. You have to change the subject. You have to put it on stuff that you appreciate. If you have a dog, go find your dog and go play with it. If you don't have a dog, go get a dog. It's the best thing I've ever done. Best thing. It's my dog. Best thing. Second best thing is attracting an amazing husband. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool when you go from hell to like attracting the best things in the world. It's like, oh wow, I really flipped the switch. I really got serious about what I was thinking about. That's how I changed my whole life. Is I got very serious of where my focus was. So I got very serious about feeling good. I got really serious about what I'm going to focus on. I got serious about getting rid of the negative thoughts, just switching them up to something positive. That's it. You get what you worry about, period. Yesterday we talked about that, right? Period, comma. You get what you worry about. Like Abraham says, you get what you think about, whether you want it or not. It's the same thing. It's the same exact, I just changed the wording. You get what you worry about. You get what you think about, whether you want it or not, period. Crazy stuff. So when you say, gosh, I really don't want this. I was doing that this morning when I was thinking about somebody. I saw somebody that I don't want to see. And I'm like, oh God, and I'm going to talk about it again. And this is annoying me because it is so common to do this, to be like, oh my gosh, yeah, I don't ever want to run into this person actually at the store. I don't want to ever do that. That would be terrible. That's not my desire. Yet I'm focused on it and talking about it and actually getting specific about it. I'm like, well, shit. And so I had to stop myself. Be like, okay, yeah, let's get off that because that's okay. Let's think about something else. Let's look at something else instead of, you know, I should probably not leave the house today. I need to actually, I do need to go to the store today. But, and if I run into this person, like I said, I'll let you know. Right now, I feel like I'm going to, and it's like going to drive me crazy because I'm talking about it. That's like, I could just talk about things and show you how easy they manifest. Okay, so there's this thing I should talk about. Let me see what tomorrow's topic is. Let me flip over to tomorrow. There's this thing about like knowing, like manifesting something that you want. And then there's this other thing of knowing, like you get a thought, you receive a thought, and then it happens like 2 seconds later. And you're like, did I just manifest that? And it's really, no, you received it, kind of like being psychic. You received it. You received a knowing. I'll give you 2 examples. Yesterday I was driving into the garage, and I glanced at the corner of the garage door, at the sensor. It's not something I ever do. I glanced at that, and my thought was, gosh, I wonder if this, I thought about having like the door not closing for some reason. It just came to me. It was just this random thought. And literally I park and I click the clicker and the garage door is not closing. And so I click it again. It's like goes down halfway, pops back up. You know how that works. I'm like, what the hell? It was so mind boggling because it was like, I just received that thought about this door not shutting. Like I did not manifest that. It was just a knowing. When you know something of like, it ended up being a knowing because I received a thought. I didn't manifest. I received the thought of what was about to happen. I didn't know it was really going to happen, but it did. So then I'm like, it's so much more confirmation. So I got out of the car and I look, and the other sensor, I'm like, what the hell's in front of it? How could it? I just opened the door. I think wind flew in a little bit, moved this little, this broken down box right in front of, like the corner of that box hit the sensor. I'm like, how quickly all of this happened. It was like probably as soon as I opened that garage door, the wind came in, moved the box. I look at the other sensor, the other corner, having the thought of this door not shutting one day. And then poof, it didn't shut because it just moved. It's just so freaky. It's really cool. It's like, holy man. Okay, what was the other example I wanted to give you? I forgot it. My phone keeps going off. Let's see who is sending me messages. I don't know. What was the other thing I wanted to? A knowing. Oh, it was actually the person who just messaged me. Over in, you can look this up. I saw it on TikTok. I saw it on Facebook, and then I saw a TikTok on it last week. It's in Avila Beach. It's just, Avila Beach is in Central California, Central Coast, California, which is right next to Pismo Beach. So Avila Beach, they do a lot of whale watching over there. Like there's the actual Avila whale watching. So I followed them on Instagram, and like what kind of whales are they? I forget now. But they're out there. So earlier in the day, I follow some photographers, really amazing photographers from Pismo Beach on Facebook. And so earlier that day, this was last week, I saw them, some pictures of Avila Beach, of like canoeing, or kayaking, not canoeing, kayaking, and just pictures, right? And I got this thought in my mind out of the blue of the whales. And I'm like, oh, yeah, the whales. And I instantly kind of just had this feeling something might happen. I'm not even kidding. And okay, so I let it go. I was like, okay, whatever. And I move on. Later on that day, they posted another video. One of the photographers out there posted a video of a kayak like capsizing from one of the whales. And I'm like, oh my God. It wasn't the greatest view because the photographer had to put the camera down and was like, oh my gosh, you know, sort of thing. And I'm like, oh shoot, I kind of knew that. I'm like, what? That's crazy. So then later on, I saw somebody put it on TikTok. It's a different person who filmed it. And it was a bunch of them kayaking, and a whale came up and literally like opened its mouth. It's a huge whale, right? Whales are big. Opened its mouth up and was trying to like, I don't know, eat them. I don't know. Like it took the whole kayak with the people. It like opened its mouth wide open and got the, I don't know what the end result was. I don't think anybody was eaten, but it was more, it was pretty crazy because those whales are always so friendly and always playing with the whale watching group, like the boat that goes out there for the whale watching. And you know, they come up next to them and they come up under them, and you know, they're always like, you know, because whales are just being cooperative components. They're having fun out there. They know that these people are out there to have fun and take pictures and stuff. So it was so crazy. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm not even kidding, that when I saw the pictures earlier when there was nothing going on, just kayaking, but knowing that the whales are over there in particular because there's an actual Avila whale watching, you know, company. And I just had the thought that something was going to happen. And sure enough, like the worst thing, I mean, nobody got gobbled up, but you know what I mean? Like that was pretty scary. Like the thing capsized, people were probably inside the whale's mouth. It was pretty crazy. Anyway, so it's one of those, like when you look at something and you just get this thought, this random thought, it could be a knowing. It could be that you are picking up, you're receiving what is going to happen. It's pretty crazy, right? If you're psychic and like tapped into all of this all the time, that's pretty interesting. I don't know. So anyway, it's pretty cool. So that's just when you get these random thoughts come to you of something, it's like you're not manifesting it, you're just knowing it. Like you're picking up on that signal. Okay. So I'm going to let you go. I thought I'd share those couple of things, and have a good rest of your Thursday, and I will be back tomorrow. Bye-bye, guys.